1995 Jeep XJ Country. Hopefully the wind's not messing with our audio too bad today, but we'll just start at the front and work our way back. It is mostly stock. I decided to keep it stock because I didn't want to take a Sawzall to it again, or take a Sawzall to another Jeep. I've done that in the past, and I don't want to do that anymore. So this is pretty much the way it's always going to look. I wanted recovery point at the front, but I didn't want to add tow hooks, and I didn't want to add an aftermarket bumper. So there's a 2-inch receiver hitch up here. It's rated for a 9,000 pound pull, and is stronger left to right than normal tow hooks. I did have to trim the air dam out to make it fit properly so it doesn't hang down too far. I installed truck light knockoffs from Amazon. They were 90 bucks. I've been pretty happy with them. I've got a lead up front for a battery tender connection in my garage, and that's it on the front. The paint overall is halfway decent for a 23-year-old Jeep, but the hood and the roof are faded pretty badly. That'll get fixed eventually, I guess. It's not really high on the priority list. Wheels are factory lace. I actually used to not care for these wheels many years ago, but now that I have them on a Jeep that I have, I'm actually kind of liking them quite a bit. I am on the search for a set of the SE style sawtooth steel wheels. I like those quite a bit too, and I'll keep these and those around and swap them whenever I swap tires, I guess. Coming back here, I've got homemade rock sliders. There's really not much to them. It's a 2x3 square tubing with caps welded on both ends, and then I've got 3x3 inch angle iron going to the uniframe, or the unibody, and a 1 inch by 1 inch piece of angle as the hitch seam. This Jeep is not a rock crawler, and it's not for hardcore trails, so that should be pretty strong enough for what I want to do. I can still use it for a high lift jack or something like that if I need to, and it does still hold up to rocks and stuff bashing against it. I've tested it. There's nothing really left on this side. Go ahead and move it. Alright, once again, I haven't really done much back here. Trying to keep it as stock as I can. It does have a 2-inch receiver hitch. When I bought the Jeep, it had a 1 inch back here. That was the receiver. The hitch itself was literally frozen into the receiver. No amount of penetrating fluid or heating it up or beating it with a hammer to get it out. I even tried doing it up on a tree in low range and trying to yank it out. So I just replaced it with a brand new 2-inch receiver hitch. What's good is a rear recovery point, and of course I can tow with it. I also have this reverse light back here. I originally bought a set of these to go up on the front bumper, but they're too thick to mount in the stock location, so I actually repurposed them. One of them's right here on the back and works as a reverse light, and the other one is actually underneath and works as a rock light, undercarriage light, whatever you want to call it. Not much here on the driver's side. Again, another of my homemade rock rails, my sticker window, and up here on the front fender I have a Comet SSB5 ham radio antenna. It's dual band VHF, UHF. Whenever we go into the interior, you'll be able to see my radio mounting. So let's look in the back now. Alright, there's not much going on here in the back. I did install a dual port power outlet over here. One side is a standard 12 volt outlet and the other side is a dual USB outlet. Got a cell phone mounted here. It's not actually hooked to a cell network. I use it for as my APRS hub, essentially, so I can hook one of my radios up to this, put an external magnetic antenna up on the roof, and this can be my APRS tracker, kind of like a satellite tracker, but it's not satellite based, it's radio based. I keep this box strapped down in the back. It's full of just stuff I might need eat every day, earmuffs, my go bag backpack there, some hand tools, recovery gear, some extra food and water and stuff like that for if I get stranded somewhere. Full-size spare tire over there. Not much to say about that. It's just full-size spare. I am currently working on a receiver hitch mounted tire carrier that will be fold down. So whenever I take this camping, I can remove that full-size spare out of the back and not have it taking up a bunch of space. And my 2 car seats right there in the middle. One's for my son, one's for my daughter. Not much to say there. They're just standard kid seats. They just happen to be in there today and not the wife's van. So now we'll move into, I'll jump up front in the front seat and we'll take a look up there. Alright, I had to switch the camera into wide angle mode here. So, pretty standard XJ up here for a 95. You got the mechanical airbag, everybody's favorite kind of gauges up there, the standard mechanical, or the standard full set instead of the idiot lights. I've also added a trans temp gauge on this side, and got my call signs right there for my ham and my GMRS, so I don't forget because I'm a dummy. TPMS monitor. Whenever I jump back out, I'll show you I've just got the simple valve stem sensors, but I kind of like having it around. I've actually kept the factory OEM radio. I just think that I like the way it goes with the rest of the vehicle. I really don't want to go to one of the flashy full color aftermarket weirdo things. I have added a RAM finger grip mount down here for my cell phone, for mapping purposes, GPS, stuff like that. The factory side mount cup holder, typically crappy, it won't hold anything, it falls off. I installed a self-tapping screw there and that holds it on just fine. I also added this floorboard RAM mount here for a tablet. So whenever I go camping or wheeling, I like to have my tablet in here with Backcountry Navigator, which is a topographical map software. It's completely offline, so I can use it where there's no cell signal. I've added, let's see what I got else I got here. So I added 2 switches on this side. This is for my reverse and undercarriage light, and the other one is for my E-fan. It's an E-fan bypass. I did replace this steering wheel. The original one that was in here, which is up in my attic somewhere, was completely destroyed on the top section here and was not, I didn't like driving with it. So I found another one. Team Cherokee sells a whole 95, 96 Cherokee steering wheels minus the airbag for $88. So I scooped one up and threw it in here. Let's see. Up top, I've got all my moto morale patches and stuff up here. Just stuck to the headliner, nothing fancy there. Garage door opener just velcroed to the factory remote keyless entry. I actually do have the keyless entry remote here. It works. It took me a little bit to find one on eBay, but found one that was affordable, and I actually like having it, even though it is very limited range compared to one of the newer RF units. But you know, it was what factory, it's what came on this Jeep, and that's what I would like to have. Up top, next to all the patches and stuff, I've got my ham radio. This is a BTEC UV50X2. It is a 50 watt ham radio, but whenever I hooked up my watt meter to it, it actually runs somewhere around 60 or 75 watts on high and 20 or so on low. And then I just added that back there because I didn't have anywhere, I couldn't think of anywhere else to put it where this wouldn't be hanging down in my line of sight constantly. I did do a full LED replacement on the interior lighting, so these are all green LEDs. Helps maintain night vision a little bit at night. Not much, but it does help some. They're also in the floorboard, and the only thing I haven't replaced with LEDs is the dash lighting. All the dash lighting is still factory. I think that's it for the inside. Let's jump outside real quick. So a few things I did forget to mention. I do have a large Hayden stacked plate transmission cooler behind that grill right there, and it's ran in series with the in-radiator transmission cooler. My TPMS monitors, I have been out wheeling with these and I've managed not to rip them off yet, so they must be tucked in good enough. Underneath, not much. I've got a Adams custom drive shaft down here. I obviously didn't have to be a custom length as a stock height Jeep, but it was only about $50 more to buy this good Adams drive shaft over a Rock Auto replacement. Everything in the back is still stock. There's my undercarriage light there. That was the ones that I mounted back here instead of on the bumper. I think that's pretty much it under here. I haven't really done much. I'll take that back. When I first got the Jeep, it was pretty clapped out as far as springs and everything go. So this has the aftermarket, or it has an upcountry spec suspension on it. So I've got Moog heavy duty springs up front, and then I've got Crown heavy duty leaves in the rear. For those that don't know what that is, that's basically Jeep had a factory package called the upcountry package. It would give about 1 to 1.5 inches of lift over a normal XJ. That is that's what I prefer, so that's what went on there. I did also replace all the bushings in the front end. The only parts that haven't been replaced in the front end at this point is the steering linkage. That's all still, as far as I know, stock. I don't know what the previous owners ever replaced. I tested the ball joints, they seemed okay, so those are still stock as well. I did add a factory OEM skid plate. I just drilled holes and used large 3/8 self tappers to get that in there. Works pretty good. I did test it on the last trip I went on, and it did its job and protected the transfer case. Underhood is nothing special, just stock XJ under here. I haven't really done anything, no K&N filters or anything like that. The AC system was rebuilt by the previous owner. I replaced a thermostat whenever I got it and a radiator cap. Other than that, oh, I'm sorry, I do have the, I think it's called HEI heat shielding kit in here. It did help a little bit on my heat soak issues. I still do get it a little bit though. And there's 4-hole in ejectors in here instead of the standard 1-hole. Yep, that's it. So here's my 95 XJ for you. I'll be putting the video up soon. I also have on this side a Rugged Ridge XHD, I think is what they call it, reclining seat. The factory seat that was in here, like that one over there on the passenger side, was falling apart. The internal frame was busted and it had a gangster lean to it, so it felt really odd driving it down the road. I decided to put this in here and see what I could do about the OEM seat. I have not gotten the OEM seat looked at yet. This one does have some wear going on down here on this edge seam here. Not sure what that's from. It's just got to be for me getting in and out of it. This seat is not that old. I put it in October. It is pretty comfortable and it was very easy to put in. There's no adapters or anything. It bolts straight to the stock sliders. But that's the last of the interior I have to show, I guess.